Bali is loved by many for its nature, rich culture and great food, but more and more people feel that mainland Bali isn't too desirable anymore with its crazy traffic, overcrowded beaches and increasing prices. I felt the same coming to Bali for the first time in 2023. But luckily, there is plenty of beautiful islands right around the corner with Nusa Penida and the Gilis, which I think are the better part of Bali. However, there is one that some people rave about being the best of the bunch, and that's Nusa Lembongan. 18 months after my first visit to Bali, I'm now coming back, and I have 24 hours to explore the mainland before hopping over to Nusa Lembongan for a week of exploring the island with my friends. So let's get started and see what Nusa Lembongan is all about.
Yes, you heard right. I've got this day and this day only to explore mainland Bali before tomorrow morning I'll take the ferry over to Nusa Lembongan, where I'm going to be staying a week. I thought of a little itinerary. I have no idea if it works out. I've never been to the places I'm going to. But anyways, it's about 9 o'clock and this is when we start. And currently I'm at Nyaman Hostel, which if you're in Bali, just go here. If you're in the Canggu area, it's an awesome hostel. It's pretty much like a resort. It feels like a resort. It looks like one. You get really good breakfast, which I just had. And now it's time to hop on the little Scoopy to go about a 2.5 hours drive or so until we're at the final destination, but we'll be stopping along the way. So let's dare it and get into Canggu traffic. And if you've never been here, Bali traffic, especially like Kuta, Seminyak, Canggu traffic, is just next level. That's going to be interesting. I'll try to film some of it and not die along the way. So let's get on the Scoopy and let's go.
The first part of my little road trip took about 1 hour, and once you're out of the busy parts, Bali's magic starts to unfold quickly.
So the first stop of the day are the Jatiluwi rice terraces, and they're about 15 minutes from here, so I'm like an hour or so into the ride. But before I even get to the big rice terraces that you find on Google as something that you can look at, look around here. Like, this is bloody awesome. This is not anything that Google would give you, but just look around. These are picture perfect rice terraces. And for example, if you go to Ubud to see all the rice terraces that you see on Instagram and stuff, some of these cafes overlooking those terraces, they charge you hefty entrance fees, and the prices for the beverages are mad. So you can literally just drive around yourself on Bali and you find terraces like this. It's absolutely gorgeous. You have banana trees everywhere. Then you have the palm trees, you have the rice terrace, and you can find it for free pretty much everywhere on Bali. As soon as you leave the kind of busy areas like Kuta, like Seminyak and Canggu, once you go up north, you find things like this.
Look at this. You just get this for free. Just for free driving through Bali
On your own.
This is bloody awesome.
So apparently this is it. These are the Jatiluwi rice terraces. As it says here, I love Jatiluwi. They've got all these figures everywhere. It's like little statues. And because of the humidity here in Bali, everything kind of rots quite fast. And it's interesting because then things look so much older than they actually are. Like in Ubud, there's a couple of temples and you look at them, you'd be like, oh, they must be 500, 600, 700 years old. And you Wikipedia them up. And then it's only really 100 or 200 years sometimes. But yeah, it's just the climate here.
The Jatiluwi rice terraces are a World Heritage Site, and taking a bird's eye look, you quickly understand why. But that's not the only interesting thing about them. They are not only the biggest rice terraces on Bali, but also one of the very few where farmers grow red rice still, which became a rare thing as it takes longer to grow compared to white rice.
Let's make our way back through the rice fields, because after all, we only got one day, and you must not forget, sun goes down here pretty quickly, so around 7 p.m-ish or so, 6-7 p.m, something like that. It's dark, and then there's not all too much to see. So what we want to do is quickly go back through the rice fields, to the bike and get onto our next destination.
My next destination was gonna be the Uluwatu Beratan temple, which sits pretty much in the middle of Bali.
Alright, the next stop on the list is Pura Uluwatu Beratan. Pretty famous water temple up here in like more of the central northern area of Bali. And weather is absolutely ass. It's kind of super overcast, it's raining. Not very enjoyable, but we're going to check out the temple anyways.
Being built in the 17th century, this temple is Bali's second most important water temple. Often referred as the Lake Temple, it is home to a variety of different pagodas, and it's also known for an optical illusion that makes it look like it's floating on the lake when water levels are high.
I know it's probably not the case, but it feels like all the temples that somehow got famous for tourists, they turned into such sellouts now. Just sad, like you have a bazillion photo spots and maybe these arches like this one over there was here before, I don't know. But I reckon they just built them so people could just do their Instagram photos. Yeah, it's kind of sad because then you feel like the original vibe, like whatever was here before that, is just kind of gone. But maybe it's just me, I don't know. It seems that people really appreciate all the photo spots because they're taking photos all the time. The rain got stronger now. This is not necessarily how I had planned this day. I should have checked the weather, probably. I'm just hoping this passes on at some point, and as long as it doesn't, I'm just sitting here at, I don't know, a bit of a rest stop or something, just in front of the entrance of the temple. And yeah, I'm just waiting for it to get somewhat better. But also it means the roads will be super twitchy once we get back on the road, so that's not anything I'm looking forward to. But I guess this is just what happens. If you only have the one day, you don't really have the time to wait out any weather and to wait for perfect sunshine.
Whilst I had planned to check out some of the waterfalls around the area, I decided to go back to Canggu as the weather just got too cold and too wet to be enjoyable. Back in Canggu, I joined a few people from my hostel for some sunset drinks at one of Canggu's many beach bars, before it was time to pack the bags for the next day.
Alright guys, I'm leaving Canggu. I checked out of my hostel and now it's time to get over to Nusa Lembongan for a week of meeting up with my friends and just having a really chill time, exploring the island, go to some beach clubs and all these things. The first hurdle though of the day is getting in my Grab taxi, getting from Canggu to Sanur, and it says it's about 50 minutes, but it's never just 50 minutes, so you can pretty much say double the time that it says. That's what you actually take. So I planned plenty of buffer time. I just hope I make it to Sanur Harbour in time to catch the ferry and also to meet up with my old Eco Beach friends, and I'm super excited. Alright, I made it to Sanur Harbour and it was actually kind of quick. It was only about an hour 15 or so to get here. I expected it to be worse. Still, the traffic here, it is insane. If you're not fancying all that big ass traffic and like just... No, I'm good, thank you, I'm good. If you just don't fancy that, just try to get to Nusa Lembongan, try to get to Gili, just leave mainland Bali. Because here, it's just insane. Like if you're just looking for something, just a bit more quietness and stuff like that, just a quaint environment, you're not gonna find it on mainland Bali, at least not in tourist hotspots. I mean, if you're dying to, you know, eat that one Pokeball from that one Insta-famous Pokeball shop that's only in Canggu, sure, then go to Canggu. Or the same with some of the beach clubs there. If you're dying to go to Finn's Beach Club, then you go there. If you're actually after a bit of a more authentic experience, you want to go out of Canggu, out of Ubud, out of all these places and get to the surrounding islands or into the north of Bali, and then you'll have all these things. And I myself, I'm dying to get to Nusa Lembongan because I'm absolutely fed up with this traffic here. Because it's loud, as you can hear. It's gonna be so annoying. Like in a week, you'll be like, I fucking hate this thing. Yeah, I know. Yeah, let's do that.
As we were all pretty tired, we spent our first night at the villa with a few bintangs at the pool and called it an early night.
Abby, are you gonna be my co-host for this Lembongan episode?
Yeah.
All the time?
Yeah, you might actually get some views on your video.
Oh, cool. I guess I gotta leave this in, do I? First real day on Nusa Lembongan. So yesterday there wasn't too much happening, and that was because all the others, apart from me, they came over from Australia. They caught super early flights, so when they finally got here, we're all pretty knackered. And now we're about to hire some scooters, and we're already trying to figure out how many scooters we need. And then with the money in Indonesia, of everything being like a million something, blah blah blah.
Something at home.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you.
We're just kind of juggling all the money. Scooter guys just around the corner. The boys are just trying to figure it out. And our first stop of the day, and the first of the beautiful beaches that they have here, is called Mushroom Bay. I think it will start blinking now, and now it's recording.
After a 10-minute scooter ride, we had some lunch at Haiba, which was pleasantly cheap considering its location at one of Lembongan's most touristy beaches. I went for a quick snorkel, which didn't offer all too much, but Mushroom Bay should still be on your list as it's beautiful and it has a great vibe to it. After that, it was time to check out possibly Lembongan's most famous landmark. This distinctly colored bridge is a gateway to the tiny neighboring island of Nusa Lembongan, with a bit of a sad past as it collapsed in 2016 due to overcrowding. Rebuilt in 2017, however, it's definitely one of the must-sees on Lembongan.
That's alright. Feel 10 line. 10 line on the tits.
Burn on the top.
What were you thinking? Putting 6 on?
I
mean, I'll give you that. At least you tried. But
Show me yours. Oh, try. Alright.
I'm pretty tanned.
You are actually pretty tanned.
I'm pretty tanned. You're pretty tanned. And the only person that puts 6 on is not really tanned.
Our next stop was gonna be Blue Lagoon. We came to Blue Lagoon as we had heard you could do cliff jumping there. Checking the place out, however, we didn't feel it was safe to do so.
So we have collectively decided that our lives are worth too much and we're not jumping here. What we do instead, we go to a place that is called Mahana Point. Don't really know what it is. We looked up this one place where there is a bar and you can jump, but you have to pay. You either pay for the jump or you drink something at the bar and then you can use their jumping facility, whatever. Is that a jumping board thing?
Yeah.
That's like 12. You reckon?
No, it's not that high.
Mate, you think of an Olympic diving board? That's taller.
But it does look like you're just jumping on that rock,
Yeah,
but there might be
from
this...
here. Go and stand on
Yeah. Okay.
My butthole will. My sphincter will shrink. Don't do anything. It'll shrink, and then when I jump, it'll open and swallow all the water.
The noise that we heard when we were turning the menu.
Oh yeah, every time.
It wasn't actually that.
No. It was me dilating my butthole.
Oh, stunning.
Oh, so much content for the video. I love it.
We had our first dinner on Lembongan at Finn Island, and while the food was mediocre at best, the cocktails and live music made up for it. But if you're simply looking for good and cheap food, I wouldn't recommend this place though.
So Lila, what do we do today?
We go see some fishies.
Fishies. Thank you. Yeah, that works.
I probably should have worn a t-shirt. I'm going to burn like a... This is how sweaty we all are.
Oh, tasty.
For about 80k per person, you get to snorkel at possibly Lembongan's best snorkeling spot to see beautiful corals, plenty of fish and maybe even some turtles. It's less crowded than other common snorkeling spots like Crystal Bay or Nusa Penida. The visibility was actually much better in real life as my slightly damaged action cam kept fogging up.
Where are we going?
Shopping. I'm gonna find a pretty bracelet. Maybe I'll let you turn around. Whoa! What a sexy man.
What a sexy man. Oh, whip, whip. Can we get on?
Yeah.
How do you feel about driving me around everywhere, Tom?
Oh, I love it. I couldn't have asked for a better passenger princess than you.
That's the only correct answer.
I quickly got bored watching the girls go shopping, so I decided to go on a little stroll around the island by myself.
Thought about just probably exploring the island, so I went on my scooter and just drove around to see some things, got the drone up and a couple of things like that. And then on my way back, I actually found something really cool and I want to show you this in just a second. Try not to get run over by a scooter. So this is a whole lot of seaweed.
Seaweed farming was the biggest industry in the late 1990s before the tourism boom on Lembongan. Clear shallow waters are perfect conditions and even today you can see seaweed farms all over the island still. Once finished with my stroll, it was time to check out some of Lembongan's massage places.
So feeling a little refreshed, I'm gonna join the others now, and they're at Blackwood Coffee Shop and they said they found this place by accident. And apparently it's super beautiful, it's got a pool and all these things. So I can't wait to get there. I've got my camera with me and the drone and everything. So let's get to Blackwood Coffee Shop and see what this place is like.
Despite a rocky ride up to the venue, Blackwood Coffee Shop became our favorite on Lembongan. As for incredible drinks, really good food and super low prices, definitely recommend this place. The next day, Layla and I checked out Secret Beach, which was a little underwhelming. So we quickly went on to have a look at Devil's Tears, which is known for its massive waves and water explosions, as well as being one of the best sunset spots on Lembongan. We ended the day with a game of pool and, despite questionable talent, an alcohol-infused live performance by Annabelle. She made up for the lack of skill with sheer passion though.
We're at a place called Cookies. Where are we though?
An island.
On Lembongan.
And we're just here for some breakfast to set us up for the day.
Sick.
We're gonna get a breakfast bagel and a watermelon juice. Mr. Weagle? Any input?
Yes.
Yes.
After a really good breakfast and some messing around with our coffees, it was time to go back to Mushroom Bay, as we had booked a banana boat ride on our last full day on Lembongan, which I only got to witness through my drone though. And then it was time for our last night, which we celebrated with lots of bintangs and a very competitive game of mini golf.
Down here, hit this bit of concrete right there.
Yeah, sure. I'll just hit this bit of concrete.
Alright, I'll show you
No,
how to do
no.
it then. You go first and then I'll show you how it's done.
Yes, on par, baby.
Alrighty, it is the last morning, and here is Slola. How are you feeling?
Really sad.
You're really sad. Mr. Thomas,
Yes, please.
how are you feeling this morning?
Sad that we leave.
I know.
Nice. It was very relaxing. It was the most chill holiday that I've done in a long while.
Yeah, it was nice. Goodbye to the pool.
Thank you.
That is honestly.
That's just a little breakfast.
After what we jointly said was some of the best burgers we had in our lives at Tiki Bar, it was finally time to leave Lembongan after 6 great days of fun. But how does Lembongan hold up in the race against Bali's other islands? While I had a really good time there, I preferred the mix of Nusa Penida and the Gillies from my last trip. Nusa Penida offers more potential for adventure and exploration as it's simply bigger than Lembongan, while the Gillies have an even more relaxed island vibe as they are much smaller. That being said, you can't go wrong with Nusa Lembongan, especially if you're looking for a bit of a mix of Gillies and Penida on one island and you don't want to spend too much time on the ferries.